Hey folks, how's it going? It's Game Webcam. I haven't made a YouTube video in like the past few weeks, and I'm sorry that I haven't been making any videos at all to this channel recently. There is this thing called that, and obviously that is the reason why I haven't been making a lot of videos recently. I've been doing fine for just the first few weeks, and then goddamn college classes be giving me a ton of homework assignments, and I just be like... Nah, I'm joking, but seriously, with all of these homework assignments that these classes have been given to me, I just really haven't been having the time to work on recording and making these YouTube videos. So sorry if I haven't been making a lot of videos. I'm trying my best to make some videos for this channel, but obviously there are responsibilities that are getting in my way when it comes to recording and making videos of any kind. However, I have been noticing that a lot of new people have been stumbling across my channel recently because there have been a lot of new people who have been subscribing to me recently. And if you are one of those people who have subscribed to this channel, thank you very much for going out of your way and supporting this channel. But even then, I've noticed that a lot of new people who come to my channel are not in fact subscribed. So if you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out as a content creator. It only takes a few seconds, and if you don't like me, then you can unsubscribe at any time you like. I'm gonna take off my headphones because honestly, I feel like I'm speaking way too loud if I have these things on. So that mustache is gross. Okay, let me shave it real quick. Alright, that's much better. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the ROBLOX Bloxys, specifically the upcoming Bloxys that will be premiering on next month on March. Now, of course, if you don't know already, voting has already been opened by now. You could simply go onto the ROBLOX website yourself and you can join the game and be able to cast your votes for several different categories of what you think could be the best contested for each different category. Now, of course, this is an award show after all. I'm pretty sure with every award show, I'm pretty sure it's going to be rigged in favor, of course, of whoever has the most money or whoever is the most popular for the ROBLOX website. I feel like the players have genuinely no voice when it comes to a lot of these award shows. And that's why I feel like a lot of people tend to mock award shows for the most part, because usually we know that the winners are just going to be rigged and like the people have usually no say. But nevertheless, I decided to participate in this year's Bloxy Awards by deciding to actually go and vote for the Bloxy Awards. So I'm going to be rolling that clip right now. Oh, and spoiler alert, for the first like 10 minutes of the video, I didn't realize I had my mic muted because OBS decided to malfunction on me. So, of course, a lot of the beginning footage that I originally recorded has to now be cut out because, screw you, OBS. Alright, so basically, I decided I'm going to be voting Tank Warfare for the first game trailer because, don't get me wrong, I like these first two games, and they had amazing cinematics in their trailers and all that sort of stuff. Same when it comes to Parenthood, but what I find really important in a trailer is the gameplay. I want to see what the game looks like and how I'm going to be playing it before I actually dive into the game itself. Considering that if I have never played the game before, I want to see what playing the game looks like. If you just give me nice cinematics and don't show me any gameplay whatsoever, I'm not going to know what your game is or what it is about. So again, the cinematics are nice and I do got to give them credit for it, but again, I really wish that they could show gameplay in their trailers. Even if it's just for like 5 to 10 seconds, it would really be nice to show me how the game actually looks when I hit that play button. Tank Warfare seems to be the only game that actually manages to pull this off, which is why I'm going to be casting my vote for Tank Warfare. Best video content creator. So, of course, I think they're obviously going to be talking about content creators that are in the STAR program. So we have 4 nominations here. Lina, which I've never heard of her before. It's funny, I've heard of her before, but I've never watched a video of hers. Gaming with Kev, I've heard bad things about him. I heard he's a plagiarist. And there's Creekcraft, which I've watched a few of his videos before. He's a decent guy, I like him. I'm gonna be setting my vote onto Creekcraft. I'm not gonna make this vote too long because out of all of the 4 content creators here, I know Creekcraft the most and I've seen his content and enjoy it the most. So obviously I'm gonna be picking Creekcraft here. Roblox Video of the Year. So I'm guessing this is because Roblox YouTube is pretty big, so obviously they want to give acknowledgement to the content creators, so...
Piggy's chasing us, and I'm getting that rush. We gotta run fast, I'ma eat some donuts. From the house to the school, we've been taking shortcuts. I keep running into you, acting like a big klutz. Biggest time we had a little pizza party. You've been chasing us around.
Oh my god, what the hell is this? Yeah, that is, that's not it. Alright, so I just finished watching all of these videos, and I will say, I kind of feel like the category name for this should have been a completely different category. I feel like they should have called this Roblox Music Video of the Year, because 3 out of 4 of these selections are music videos. I don't really think they're... The only one that wasn't a music video was El Trollino, but again, I don't even know why this was nominated. I'm glad that they are giving representation to other nationalities, but I don't know, it just seemed like a normal video. I just don't see how this got nominated for a Bloxy. It just makes absolutely no sense. What's weird is that half of the nominations are about a singular game named Piggy. I mean, yeah, so much for variety, so... FGT... How the hell do you say that name? FGTEEV. That music video was definitely a lot better. It was much better produced. The song sounded so much better. When I watched this video, I honestly winced. I was in absolute pain when I was watching this. I felt like I wanted to crawl into a hole and die. At least with these two, I could see how these two could have their merit. But if I had to choose one, I would at least choose this because I could possibly listen to it again. I would definitely not replay these at all. Alright, so here's the next category. It's Game of the Year. So I've played almost all of these games. I haven't really played Royal High and Adopt Me too much. I mean, I've played them for a few minutes, but Royal High just does not appeal to me at all. I'm sorry if this is like your favorite game or something. It's just not my sort of game. Piggy, I mean, I like Piggy. Sort of. I wouldn't play it regularly. Again, it's not my type of game, but I could understand why there's a huge following behind it. World Zero, I have played this briefly for like an hour, and I will say the production quality in this game is excellent. It reminds me of a lot of RPGs like World of Warcraft and all that sort of stuff, so it's a lot of fun and I highly recommend you check it out. It's the developers who made this game really put a lot of time and effort into this one, so this one, out of all of them, I might select this one because they definitely put a lot of time and effort into it. And out of these 4 games, it's the game I would most likely play consistently. Alright, so best new game. I'm kind of glad that they have this category. I wouldn't consider Piggy to be a new game, though. That this wasn't a game that came from the 2020 year. It definitely came up in the 2019 year, I believe. Or I might just have my memory wrong. But I don't consider Piggy to be a new game. So, Brookhaven, I've seen this one. It's definitely been overtaking Adopt Me a few times on the front page, which I'm surprised that is happening. But it just seems like an ordinary roleplay game. I don't really see how it really stands out to me. Islands, I used to be heavily addicted to this game, but obviously I stopped playing it because let's just say that the game developers made a few updates to the game that pretty much nerfed way too many things and just made the overall game feel way too grindy. And I just overall did not enjoy the game anymore because it just felt more like a grind rather than as a way to customize my island and get rich and all that sort of stuff. Whatever you do with islands, it's pretty much similar to Minecraft Skyblock if you have played that before. Outlaster, I've never heard of this game before, so I'm not going to comment that much about it. I probably will pick Piggy. I'll probably pick Piggy for this one. I think it is a better game overall out of these 4. Although I don't really consider it to be a new game. I feel like it's been around for at least a year or 2 now. The best sleeper hit, I don't know what this is, but... Alright, so we got Outlaster. Again, I've never heard of this game. Same with Mega Mech, I've never heard of this game either. But, so I'm going to be looking at Wild West and Doomspire. So, Wild West, again, I could understand why this would be a favorite. But I'm going to go with Super Doomspire because, obviously, I am a decade veteran. So, I obviously like older Roblox game modes. Hey, it's VoiceOver Game Webcam here. So, after recording this video, I did look up the pronouns of Polyhex, and it turns out that they use they them pronouns, and I did not know that they use they them pronouns when I was recording this video. So I'm just gonna summarize this without having to hear the butchered pronouns here. Essentially what I said here is that they make really great games. They essentially put a lot of effort into their games, and they have a very unique aesthetic that really stands out to me as compared to a lot of other cartoonish aesthetics that a lot of other Roblox game developers use, and I really gotta give them a lot of credit for the work that they put into their games. So Polyhex, if you are watching this video, keep doing what you are doing, and I'm sorry for horribly misgendering you in this section, and hopefully you can forgive me for that. Alright, and that's all of my votes. Alright, let's go. March 27th. Jesus, that's not until like a month from now. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that was the voting period. So after doing the Bloxys, there's definitely a few things that I want to say in regards to the nominations, how the event was organized, and everything. Alright, so yes, I decided to change shirt color because I'm recording this a few days later because I just recently suffered college-going X Games mode on me. Obviously, that's why I mentioned that college got in the way at the beginning of the video, because it really is pushing me down, and the fact that I had a huge project, homework to go through and all that sort of stuff, I pretty much couldn't work on this video at all. Now I should be back on track. So I'm going to be talking about a few more minor points in regards to the Bloxys before I start getting to the main commentary. And one of the most important points that I think I need to bring up is that Roblox should have had more categories for their Bloxys. When voting at the Bloxys, the amount of categories that you could choose from was very small, and it clearly doesn't give enough representation of what developers can accomplish. A good example was Video of the Year. Video of the Year, I feel like, was too generic of a category. It definitely should have been split up more into more categories. For example, most of the nominations for the Video of the Year should have had its own category for Music Video of the Year, which I made a comment on when I was voting for the Bloxys. I feel like El Trollino's video should have gone in its own category, probably something like Most Engaging Video of the Year or something like that. I felt like that would have been a more appropriate category for El Trollino's video. I mean, considering that all the other nominations were music videos, I don't think El Trollino has any fair competition in terms of quality. When I watched the Dream music video, I noticed how well animated the music video was, and it kind of got me thinking, well, maybe animators should have a chance in the spotlight by giving them their own category. Maybe something like Best Animation of the Year or something like that. That way, animators could at least have their chance in the spotlight. Roblox also needs to give more acknowledgement to game developers on the platform. I do like where they went with the sleeper hit, where they tried to at least give acknowledgement to some underground game developers, but I don't think 4 nominations is enough. Either they should have more nominations, or I feel like there should be more categories available. Or if you decide to not want to make any more categories for that matter, maybe have a showcase for some developers who have done well in the last year or who are currently on the rise, so that way it feels like developers are not being pushed out of the Bloxy Awards. I mean, especially given the recent Snow Globe incident, Star creators got a snow globe from Roblox. I mean, I get it. It's kind of stupid because it is just a stupid snow globe after all. But it kind of really comes to show how Roblox gives preferential treatment to star creators over game developers. I feel like Roblox should do game developers more justice in their Bloxys by either giving them a showcase or giving more nominations or more categories for that matter. Because there are definitely way more game developers on the Roblox platform than there are video star creators. So I feel like they obviously should have more representation. I think another group of people who benefit from getting more representations in the Bloxys should also be clothing designers. I mean, in the past few months, if you haven't heard, there is a new clothing tax for Roblox clothing. So essentially, whenever they upload a piece of clothing, they have to pay 50 Robux per clothing item in order to put it on sale and to sell it. I understand why they're trying to do this. They're trying to combat the botting problem when it comes to clothing, but it obviously screws over a lot of small clothing designers because it obviously makes it a lot harder for them to be able to make back a profit from designing and uploading original clothing. However, I'm not going to go too hard on Roblox for all of this because Roblox does claim that they are going to be revealing more categories soon. Obviously, I'm not going to put too much criticism on them, but hopefully these are a few categories that they can probably take into consideration as the Bloxy voting period is still going on. The other minor thing that I want to talk about in regards to the Bloxys is that I'm surprised Gaming with Kev was even nominated this year. A lot of people, including Flamingo, have been accusing Gaming with Kev of stealing thumbnails, stealing video ideas, and all that sort of stuff. Kind of showing how Gaming with Kev is essentially a plagiarist. Roblox should have never nominated Gaming with Kev in the first place. I feel like they should have nominated a completely different star creator for Video Content Creator of the Year. Because all that this really did was just tell other content creators that you can essentially do the worst stuff and you can essentially get away with it and it won't affect your standing whatsoever. And this is a huge issue with the Video Star program in general. We have content creators who are in the Star program who make very questionable content and yet they still remain in the Star program. However, that is a separate can of worms, so I'm not going to be going into much detail with that because that is definitely something that should have its own video. When you search up my channel, Game Webcam, type it into the YouTube search page, his channel comes up alongside mine when it comes to YouTube search results. So not only is he stealing video thumbnails, he's also stealing up space in my YouTube search results. All the more reason to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel, so that way we can get plagiarists off of my search results. Alright, that's enough digs at Gaming with Kev. I know that I threw a lot of digs at him. The biggest issue that I have seen when I looked at the Bloxys this year is how it can be a huge threat to Roblox's older demographic. And this is the main point that I want to talk about in this video. But before we can talk about how the Bloxys pose a threat to Roblox's older demographic, we need to talk about the difference between kids content and family-friendly content. Now, of course, a lot of people tend to use kids content and family content interchangeably as if they were to be the same thing, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Kids content and family-friendly content are two different things. Kids content is content that is made specifically for kids. Some good examples being Nick Jr., Disney Jr., or those nursery rhymes that you find on YouTube. That is example of kids content because no sane adult would go out of their way to actually watch this content and unironically enjoy it. And when analyzing a lot of this kids content, There are obviously a lot of few traits that you're gonna notice. Bright colors, very basic storytelling, inoffensive language, and sometimes just straight up cheesy aesthetics that adults would not find entertaining. These are a lot of the things that kids' content tends to have, because these are things that usually helps reel kids in and helps keep kids entertained. Family-friendly content, on the other hand, is content that is made for all ages. These include your Disney films, SpongeBob, anything on Nickelodeon, or Roblox for that matter. Because whether you're 6 years old or turning 76, you can still sit down, watch, and enjoy a Disney film. It doesn't matter how old you are. So you will tend to find older people in family-friendly content. Even though that may not be the majority of that audience, you will definitely find adults who enjoy family-friendly content. Meanwhile, you will hardly ever find adults who watch kids content. Now, why is this comparison important? Because when I watched all the videos that were nominated for Best Video of the Year, I felt like every single video was a video made for kids, because I do not see how anybody over the age of 13 can unironically watch and enjoy this content. And remember those bright colors, inoffensive commentary, and cheesy aesthetics that you tend to see a lot in kids shows? Well, when you watch the music videos, it tends to have a lot of those similarities. It is without a doubt that pretty much all the videos that are in this category are made for kids. And it's really scary because none of these videos are marked for kids. One easy way that you usually can tell if a video is marked as for kids is it usually gives you the recommendation of the YouTube Kids app below the video, and you will not be able to make a comment on the video whatsoever. And the fact that none of these videos self-report themselves as made for kids, I mean, despite the fact that all of these videos are definitely going to be raising eyebrows from the FCC, this was the category that really convinced me that Roblox cares a lot more about their young kid demographic as opposed to their teen and adult demographic. And the content creator category wasn't that much different, but at least they had an option for older demographics. Createcraft was the content creator that I enjoyed the most watching. I've definitely watched a few videos of his, and I like him and respect him as a content creator. And I would say that Createcraft is probably the only content creator nominated that is the most approachable for an older demographic. Createcraft is a sort of mixed bag. He obviously makes a lot of content for younger audiences, but he also makes videos that could easily be watched by older people as well, which is why I gotta give a lot of respect to Createcraft, because the fact that Createcraft is able to get both young and older audiences attracted to his channel is something that not a whole lot of Roblox YouTubers are capable of doing. I definitely am not capable of being able to pull in a much younger audience. I definitely enjoy making content that would pull in a much older audience. I've already made a comment about this when I was voting, but obviously they only nominated people who were only in the STAR program. I feel like some great nominations for some YouTube creators would have been Kaneko Kitten, because he's the only person that makes content that I can actually watch and not feel like I'm going to have a stroke. But of course, Kaneko Kitten is not in the STAR program, so obviously they're not going to nominate him. I think Flamingo would have also been another very good nomination, and unlike Kaneko Kitten, Flamingo is in the STAR program. But here's the thing, Flamingo only joined the STAR program very recently, so it's very understandable why Flamingo didn't get nominated at all. Okay, so a lot of the content that has been nominated for the Bloxys this year is made for kids. Well, why is this a big deal? Because it reinforces the belief that Roblox is a kids game rather than a game for all. And this is a very common belief that you will find with people who have either never played the game at all or probably have not played Roblox for very long. However, with the Bloxys promoting and endorsing content that is made for kids, it probably tells us that Roblox might be a kids game after all. And the fact that Roblox is starting to try and gear its game for kids kind of really comes to show how much they exclude the teens and adults out of their player base. It's not uncommon to see older players on Roblox frequently doubt whether they even belong on a game like Roblox. If you're on the Roblox subreddit for long enough, you will always come across a post where it's some person who is a young adult or a late teenager, and they always ask, hey, should I be on Roblox if I'm XYZ years old? Because they feel like they don't belong on the platform. And it kind of is true to an extent. If you aren't a content creator, game developer, or a parent for that matter, then you don't feel like you belong on the Roblox platform. And it doesn't really help that a lot of the most popular games that are on Roblox cater to children, whether it comes to the very cartoonish aesthetics, the harmless gameplay, and their monetization models, which are designed very similar to mobile games with heavy in-app purchases, so that way it makes you feel like they're free, but they get their money through the heavy abuse of in-app purchases because children can easily purchase those. And of course, if you start to exclude the older demographic, this can actually result in Roblox losing some of their most loyal fans, because a lot of the loyal fans that they probably still have on the platform are in fact their oldest players because they've been around on the platform for the longest. Now this all raises one big question. Why should Roblox avoid losing the older demographic? I mean, it's not that important, right? The older demographic only makes up like a small minority of the player base, so surely if we just forget about them, it really won't affect Roblox as a platform, right? Well, this is where you're kinda wrong. That is because adults, unlike kids, are financially independent, meaning that they are able to make their own purchases and payments. Kids, on the other hand, have to beg their parents to essentially make the purchases for them because they are not in control of their own money. Adults, on the other hand, will be able to make purchases on their own and be glad to purchase these memberships if they like the game enough and they have the money to spend. And if Roblox were to not be acknowledging this at all, from a business perspective, this would be an incredibly stupid move that they would be doing. This can also unintentionally help Roblox's player base, because if Roblox's older demographic were to be much bigger, then Roblox's player base would not look as impressionable. And the fact that the player base does not look as impressionable, it would be much harder for scammers to try and do schemes and get away with them, considering that a much bigger older demographic could easily educate the younger demographic about scams and why they are so bad, which can easily make the player base more resilient. And I think this is the most important factor of them all. When you have a bigger, older demographic, I think it brings more game developers and content creators onto the platform. With more developers, meaning more quality games available, and a better quality product would be attractive to investors. Cause you know, Roblox, you like to talk about money? Well, there's a big opportunity for you right there if you want to make more money as a corporation. I think now it is more important than ever for Roblox to make the decision Is the game going to be for kids, or is this going to be an all ages game? Because up until now, they've never directly said anything about it. And not only should they be making a statement about it, but they should also be trying to make efforts to try and accomplish their goals. Because after all, actions do speak louder than words. And if Roblox does decide to be an all ages game, they definitely should try and make efforts to make older players feel welcome. Because I feel like with the modern landscape that Roblox has right now, they are not very welcoming to older players unless they are a game developer, a content creator, or a parent for a much younger child. You should be able to play a Roblox regardless of how old you are. And whoever says that you are too old to play Roblox and that you should grow up should honestly go themselves, and they probably have their own miserable ass life to live. So don't let those miserable, stupid make your lives just as miserable as theirs. I think that's all I have to say in terms of this video. I think this video is already long enough, and I don't want to make it any longer, so I'm gonna end it off here. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified for any future uploads that I make to this channel. That's all, folks. Take care.